Hey guys, today I want to show you something amazing that I've been working on for the past month or so, which is bringing Attack on Titan to Rec Room. That's right. Let me start by saying that this is a project that I've been wanting to make ever since I finished the first season of Attack on Titan 3 years ago. Now obviously the technology back then was very limited, and I wasn't very experienced at making games, but we fast forward to today, and here we are, standing on top of Wall Mario. Now I'm super excited to show you guys what this experience has to offer, and things you can look forward to in coming updates, so without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so this is the menu. This is where you'll spawn in when you first join the game. It includes a ton of information, such as release notes for updates, things that are coming soon, just general information about the room, disclaimers. This is the main menu, which includes free play, which is basically a map select of various experiences. So we've got a training grounds. This is kind of like a practice area. You can hang out with friends, see your stats, upgrade your gear. The city. This is like the actual game, which includes 3 modes right now, which is solo, co-op, and playground. We'll get into that a bit later. The forest, which is coming soon, along with a bunch of other maps, which are currently planned. Quick little about, if you want to pause the video and read this. I'm not going to read it right now, but you get the idea. There's also leaderboards. We track things such as Titan kills, KDR, which is your kill-death ratio, and damage. Finally, credits. So I designed pretty much all the map, did the circuits, but I want to shout out Vern real quick because he did the Titans and the animations, and when you see them later on in the video, or if you've already played the game and you've seen them, he did a really good job. So shout out to Vern. Really happy with how that turned out, and obviously this is inspired from the show Attack on Titan. Alright, so let's start with the tutorial. This will teach you how to basically play the game. It'll teach you about the Titans, the weak spots, and how to properly use your ODM gear, which is critical for playing this game. So, without further ado, alright, so here we are. I'm going to give you guys a quick demonstration of how to use the ODM gear. So let's start with the basics, which is hooking onto things. So, what you do, aim at something, hold the triggers. Pretty simple. But, trust me, it's a lot more nuanced than that. So, the next critical piece of information about this gear is that it will factor in the rotation of your hands into the velocity at which you move. So, I'll just give you a quick example. As you can see, when you're unhooked, it will do just that. So I can really, kind of, without even being hooked, I can already move around and, go whatever direction I want, depending on the rotation of my hands, which is very useful for maneuvering. But in effect of that, so if I do this, you'll notice it adds the same thing. So I can really, if I want to move that way, I can really pull myself. It's very useful. The next piece of information you're going to want to know is when you're maneuvering, the distance between your hand will determine the force that you're pulled towards your hooks, which basically means, just give you an example, so if I want to do like a tight turn, I can move my hands closer together, and it will move me closer to my hook at a greater speed. And if I want to do the opposite, you'll notice as I pull my hand away, it allows me to kind of get a lot more length and distance. Then I want to pull towards. And once again, this is to just add on to the maneuverability. Finally, this is very useful for killing Titans, which is the tight reel functionality, which is, let's say you want to go to a specific spot, and you don't really want to do like the whole swinging around. Well, you can do exactly that just by hooking and holding your hands really tight together. And when you do this, it will just pull you in the exact direction of your hooks. And the speed at which you're pulled will change depending on how fast you're going. So, for example, I was going pretty slow there. If I want to move a bit quicker, do this, get the speed, and then boom. So let's just do a quick little. Very useful. Yeah, that's pretty much the basics. So let's move on to the training grounds. Alright, so this is the training grounds. This is the area where you can hang out with your friends, practice your ODM gear, upgrade your stats, and a whole bunch of other things, which I'll get into right now. So let's move over to the Commonwealth, which is the building right behind that giant pillar. Just go there. Alright, so this is the ODM gear upgrade station. This is where you can use your skill points to upgrade your gear. There's a whole bunch of things you can upgrade. You can upgrade your speed, your reel speed, your hook range, your tight reel speed, XP multiplier, damage multiplier, gas speed. And I plan on adding a few more things in the future, but for now, that's what we have. It'll tell you how many skill points you have, how many you've spent, and if you want to clear your skill points, all you have to do, so I have 7 skill points sent, boom, resets. Don't worry, you get all your skill points back. And then if you want to upgrade, it's as simple as just pressing this, and it'll tell you how much it's adding on, and I'll show you in a minute. There's different regiments, and each regiment has kind of like a base value that your speed and your real speed, etc. starts at. So I'm in the Survey Corps, for example, which means that my default speed is 1.3 times. And obviously I can add on to that. It's pretty simple. And this will save when you leave, when you come back. It's all permanent. The only way to really reset it is to press this. Now we're moving on to the regiments. So there's 4 different regiments you can select from. And they all unlock at different levels. So the first regiment you're going to want to join is the Training Regiment. And all you have to do to join a regiment is press it, and if you're the right level, it will let you join. So I'm like level 80 or something, so I can join all the regiments. And you'll notice that each regiment has their own base value, as I mentioned previously. It's all displayed here on the wall. So for example, default speed of the Training Regiment is 1 meter per second, real speed 1x, hook distance 40 meters, etc. And this is very important to note. When you join this game, if you can't use your ODM gear, it's because you need to select a regiment. So just come over here, press the Training Regiment, and you should be good to go. So right here we have our map select. We've got some doors you can interact with here. The 2 doors featured currently are just solo and the playground, because the co-op experience isn't the most reliable right now. Now we're hoping by the full release of this game that the co-op experience is a lot more consistent, but for now it really only works well for the Authority player, which means you might experience, really bad shifting or lag, which is no good. So if you want the most robust experience, I recommend solo or playground. Moving on, we have your player stats. This list will increase in the future. Plan on adding a bit more things you can view, but right now we have your regiment, your level, total XP, prestige, which is not currently implemented, the highest damage you've ever done, how many kills you have, how many deaths you have, and your KDR. Now there are, as I mentioned, a few more things we're going to add onto this list, but that's pretty much it for now. Now moving on to the other side of the wall, we have a global stats, which basically means if you press this, it will display your stats to other people in the room. Now this is really useful if, let's say you're in a party and you just want to share your stats with people. They can just see it for themselves, which is useful. Also, here we've got the leaderboard, which once again I kind of showed this off in the menu earlier, but you've got kills, KDR, and highest damage. Alright, really quickly before we move outside, I want to show that we have a Discord server, which you can see above, and we also have donations. So if you really like this map and you want to see updates, and you have some spare tokens, then feel free to donate, because when we see donations come in, it really shows us that people do care, and it really encourages us to keep updating the game. So now we do have a lot planned already, but like I said, the more support you guys show, the more likely we are to really get those updates out quicker. Because projects like these take a ton of time, a lot of testing, a lot of thinking and planning are involved to really bring this entire experience together. So yeah, just feel free, and don't forget to favorite the room or cheer it if you enjoy it. So, all right, let's move outside. We're outside now, and as you can see, we've got some ODM gear readily available to use. There's also some dummy titans. You can't really see them right now, they're out of frame, but got some dummy titans, and this area is really just set up to train and practice your skills. Yeah, so without further ado, let's do some training. Alright, so I mentioned all you have to do, equip this on your back, and you're ready to go. So, just kill a few titans here. And something to mention that's not clear in the video is when you kill one of these titans, it'll tell you the velocity and the damage that you would have done, like an actual titan. See if I can get one of these guys. Oh yeah. So unfortunately, we only have space for 3 ODM gears. fun. We do have plans to add a kind of a little competitive mode in the future, where you can compete with your friends to see how many Titans you can kill in a certain amount of time. See if we can get a fast one. Ooh, so close. These Titans are a bit hard to kill because the hitbox is so small, but it's really satisfying. Alright, so now that we're feeling a bit more comfortable with our ODM gear, let's move on to the city, where we can further our combat skills and really refine our techniques with the blade, huh? Alright, let's move on. So here we are in the city, and as you can see, we've got some ODM gears. This means you can play with up to 2 more friends, so it's a 3-person experience. And the objective of this game is to basically just fly through rings, and whenever you fly through these rings, it'll tell you how fast you're moving, and it'll give you a proportional amount of XP. And if you remember back at the ODM gear station, you have an XP multiplier. That will be taken into consideration as well. Alright, so let's just get into it. Let's do this. Once again, this game mode really allows you to sharpen your ODM skills. Very low pressure. There's no Titans to kill you. And if you're having a hard time with solo mode, where you're actually going against Titans, I do recommend trying this game mode. It's some easy XP as well. Not a lot of XP, but enough. Get this ring over here. I want to get this one. I watch this. Just do a bit of shenanigans. This one. Oh, missed. Back. This. Nice. As you can see, pretty fun. Damn. Go for this one. Oh, so close. Try that again. There we go. Go for this one. Oop, missed. Then loop back. Let's crack here. Now, as you notice, pay very close attention to the movement of my hands. You'll see that there's a lot of movement going on there, so that I can correctly adjust my speed. And this is something that you'll just have to get good at over time. You just have to feel around for it until eventually it just comes naturally, you know? It becomes second nature. Come on, that didn't count. This game sucks. Alright. I think we're almost ready. Alright, so after practicing for a bit, I'm feeling pretty ready to take on some Titans, so let's move on to the city, where the Titans are deadly, and my blades are deadlier. Let's go. Alright, so here we are in the city. I think we've got ourselves the first Titan. Let's see if we can take it on. There it is. Chance. Oh. The feisty one. Really want to keep the distance. Here's the best way to take this one out. Okay, he's coming towards us. Now this one is particularly evasive. But if you get him on his knees. Oh. Get him on his knees. Make this work with him. Back. Whoa! Get behind him. Ooh, that was awesome. Get wrecked. Uh-oh. that is how it's done, people. That is how it's done. Let's see if we can get another one. There it is. Hey, buddy. Whoop. You guys like I'm riding a Titan? Damn, he's thick! Absolutely putrid. Absolutely destroyed. Alright, that was pretty fun, but here we are back on top of Walmaria, and as promised at the start of the video, I'm going to quickly discuss some updates we have planned for the future. Now, this is still in beta, so some things aren't working properly or are buggy or unreliable. So the first thing we're going to do is address the Titans. We're going to try to get co-op working, and the ODM gear is getting a massive overhaul. It'll still function the exact same, all your perks will stay the same, so if you've spent a bunch of skill points and all that, that'll all still the same. It'll just be a lot more optimized and less laggy, more responsive in general. So that's exciting, but also, on top of that, we're going to add a new map and some missions, right? So right now we've got a free play mode where, you know, you can kind of indefinitely go around and kill Titans, and there's going to be some new game modes being introduced to not only the forest, but also the city. So these are specific missions which might require you to kill a certain amount of Titans in a certain amount of time, or, you know, things of that nature, which will give you more XP boosts. And yeah, another thing we have planned is boss fights, right? Which will be basically a solo and co-op experience where you can take on one of the Titan shifters, such as the female Titan, the Beast Titan, the Armor Titan, the Colossal Titan, etc. We don't know which one we're going to do first, but it is planned, and we're very excited to start working on that too. That's all I'm going to say for now. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like. If you have some questions or you just want to comment, drop a comment. And if you want to join our Discord, go right ahead. I'll put the link right here. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. See ya.